Good morning, friends, and welcome back to Trans India. Real people, real emotions. Over the last few decades, India has grown in every sense, be it the economy or the infrastructure and even the automobile segment. In fact, the automobile segment has seen a significant growth in the last few years, with more number of manufacturers seeing India as a country with huge potential. But every growth story has its fair share of thorns. In this case, the biggest thorn is road accidents. One of the campaigns run by tire major Seat, "The road is full of idiots," is a reflection of what has been happening on Indian roads. While the government has been running many campaigns to promote road safety, including observing the road safety fortnight every year, we are not seeing any drop in the number of accidents or fatalities. However, at the same time, there are a few individuals out there who have made road safety a mission for life. Our guest today is one such personality who has been a road safety activist for many years. While he has held and still holds a key corporate position related to the automobile industry, his heart still beats for road safety. We are pleased to present the first part of our interaction with Mr. Rama Shankar Pandey, who is a road safety activist and currently is the CEO of Tata Green Batteries and also the chairman of FICCI's subcommittee on road safety. So let's get into our interaction with Rama Shankar Pandey and see if the road accident scenario in India has light at the end of the tunnel or the numbers will keep swelling despite the efforts of the government and people like Rama Shankar Pandey. Tell me about her association with the auto industry. How many years now and how?
So I think more than 26 years now, and trucks have been, because I worked for Bosch before, long years with Bosch, and Bosch is diesel and diesel is trucks. And I have been facing a lot of those days difficulty with the counterfeits,
That was a tough thing.
Exactly. And I still remember that on the GT road, I had a massive raid I did. So much so that I have to run away from that place. This was when I left the headquarters from Bangalore and then took my posting in Kolkata, Patna first, then Kolkata.
Okay.
And it used to be very difficult. And you can imagine for a truck, transporter or a owner or fleet owner, the mileage is everything. That's money.
Okay.
And with the wrong parts, they lose the mileage completely. Of course, the pollution comes, that is for the society.
Right.
But this is both related. I still remember that I made a club in Patna where I have all the OEMs together, including the truck and the tractor. And we started publishing and with the newspapers and all, because they supported us, something called Dada Ji Ke Nuske.
Okay.
And in that we used to tell, how to, get the water out of the filter, so just some tips for them. And this used to be weekly.
Okay.
So it's actually a very interesting industry, the whole truck industry. And when you are on the road, I personally travel a lot. I think in a year, I meet around 10,000 people minimum, mechanics and the drivers and the people on the road. And truckers are the one who are on the road. They are the backbone of the country. They are actually the real army inside the border of the country. It's unfortunate sometimes that I don't see them getting that place in the society. The drivers of truck is not seen that way. Nobody would like to marry their daughter to a truck driver this whole industry is seen little down. At the same time, when you see it's a backbone of the economy. So somewhere we need to work together. And I have been working since last 26 years, whether at Bosch or whether at Hella and now at Tata Green Batteries. I think whatever we can do, let us do that way. And I'm always open for any ideas. So my association with the whole truck industry or the logistics is more from the automotive side, from the vehicle manufacturing, component manufacturing side. When I was in Bosch, we were part of those whole diesel segment. When I was with Hella, in fact, Hella, I got a chance to build that company in India, Hella India Lighting, from scratch because it was coming from BIFR. And I had to give a shape to this company or to relive that Hella.
But I think while you were in Hella, you also came out with some products which have revolutionized the industry on the whole.
Yeah, so I think it was also my luck, to tell you. I got a chance to solve a problem. And that is where my relatedness also, not only the transport industry, but specifically to the arresting the high road crash in the country. Millions of us use road every day. And roughly, or I'd say more than 460 now with the current data, more than 460 families does not get back their people home. Imagine day after day, they start in the morning, they don't come back. And
do we take road safety seriously? I mean, this one question has been bothering me a lot.
I think people do take it seriously, but the problem is what? If they are not taking seriously, why do they hang Nibu Mirchi? Why do they have gods in the wake? Everybody knows it's a risky thing. Everybody knows. But the problem is the belief in our mind is that whatever, the all the life-saving protocols, be it seat belt, be it lane driving, be it not harsh braking, be it not, side cutting on the lanes, or be it helmets, all of this is what life-saving protocol, right? Absolutely. It's almost like when you are cooking, then you take something, you're not touching the fire directly. But unfortunately, it is seen as a rule by police.
Yes.
So what happens when it's seen as a rule? You see, our country got freedom with civil disobedience movement, right? So, cutting the rule, somewhere it is there in our, it's like a rule.
In our DNA, actually.
We start fighting with it. There's a big war on the road. And how many traffic police we have? We hardly have. I generally ask people that how many have never violated a road rule. You will hardly see any hand. Every one of us, including me, I try my level best, but my driver in different city at Uber, Ola, I can't control them, and they do something very nonsense. So I can't really raise my hand that I have never done it or never have been associated with it. And if that is the case, that means our life is at risk and danger. Absolutely. And you have hardly 85,000 to 88,000 traffic police, which is nothing. How can 1 billion plus people be controlled by them? So it's impossible. And then you have violation, which is more than 30-40%, which is more than 80%. Anything where the violation is more than 20-30%, you can't really bring it down by such a small traffic. So when you say people do take seriously or not, I think they do take seriously, but there's a problem of understanding of the risk perception. See, when the COVID came, people put masks. I'll show you many pictures where people are in masks but not with helmets.
Yes.
Because the cause and effect is not understood well. Because if you touch a fire, you will burn immediately. But on road, you do everything nonsense, you can still be safe.
You can still survive that.
So what happens then is, you can die, of course. But because even with 160,000 deaths, if you convert this into, in 1 million, it's around 110 or something, right? So when you have so big, population and so little death, of course, the person who died, for him, everything is gone. But then they take it something called, and this is very important, what I'm going to tell you is, that the mind says that ek din, jis din marna, us din marna. It's like a destined.
Correct.
Our country, people believe in that whole destiny, that mere haath mein kuch nahi hai, jis din marna hai. So this belief is a chance factor. So the science of road safety is not understood. So its risk is known, but bachayega kaun? Bhagwan bachayega.
Bhagwan baithe.
So that, बिल्ली काली बिल्ली चली जाए तो आप रुक जाते हो, because you feel that काली बिल्ली गई, मैं अगर क्रॉस करूंगा तो कुछ हो जाएगा. So there is some third force which is saving or destroying you, and you forget your own responsibility in it. So the problem is not about risk is there or not. It's there, but how do you tackle it? Whether it is a science or bad luck. People choose, it's luck. So they go to Jyotisi, which color of car and all that happen. So you see many conversation around bad luck, but you hardly see conversation around science.
Absolutely.
Come on, you do everything which is against science.
It. Absolutely.
So it's not an accident. I always say, don't call it accident. Accident is which is out of your hand. It's all in your hand.
I've always called road accidents of these kinds as suicide.
Yes.
It's
not an accident. So when you ask me whether it is people take it seriously or not, I have an issue which is about why we are not able to. We are coming from science background, technology background. Why we are still not able to convince masses? Yes. It is science. So it's also my failure personally. I feel very attached to this topic. It's like my life passion. I really want to see a day when we really free India from all avoidable road deaths, and I believe it will happen. I see the solution coming very close. Only this mindset has to change.
But now, from what I have seen is, this current generation refuses to change. I mean, you see educated guys talking on the phone or jumping rules. Is there a better chance if we train the next gen? By saying what I mean is by training them right from the school itself.
You have a very valid point because they are into their formative years and they can get it. because we have been trained very differently in past. In my school, if one rickshaw can take 3 or 4 people, even 10 was on that rickshaw, right? So we have seen nothing happen, so nothing will happen.
Correct.
So that belief has been formed over years.
Yes. I mean, we've seen that, you know.
So to take it out will be very difficult. You are right. So you everybody understands this. That's the problem. So you are right. We start from schools and colleges. So if you ask me, of course, I'm an industry guy. I'm a practitioner. I saw that people dying, on the highways, especially tailgating, almost 42%. There was a research from ICAT and IIT Delhi, which gave me this data when I took over the HELA's ailing unit, HELA India Lighting. And I saw this data. It was really mind-blowing that almost 42% people were dying with tailgating. And then you see that conspicuity was not there. No tail lights, no stop lights. So I always call this whole road safety problem into this 3 stages, not active, passive, but easy to let people understand is dekho, ruko, bacho. Because, the science also has to be made easy for people to understand. You can't talk about all the, laboratory stuff to a common man. Correct. So for common man, it's very easy to understand. Dekho, ruko, bacho. So there are a lot of technology in dekho. For example, the lighting, the lane system. So all the traffic you have to recognize. Called recognition of the traffic is the first step. Then comes the skill of maneuvering it.
Right.
If you don't recognize well, you will be either hypnotized or you'll be either trumped, surprises. You can't really drive. And that is where I saw the huge issue of tailgating when people want to even overtake and they don't see that what the truck is, where the truck is stopped or running or whatever, they go inside the truck. And started working when I made actually a vision of HELA, which is talking about technology of tomorrow for the life of today on Indian roads. So the company was built on this business case. Generally, people say that you can't do good to society also and earn money also.
Right.
We have proven this. You can do both. You can actually create something called social entrepreneurship. So on road safety, rather than only those bhasan and gyan and knowledge and page 3 topic, we made it a serious business. And we said, we'll build a technology which will save people. And whatever will come in a way for that technology not to get in, we will solve it. So, I started 2011, this whole vision statement. We launched it. And first we said, we'll solve this problem, truck back problem. Because this was for other people, nobody was understanding. And this technology was failing. So build a technology, which was, of course, given an award also from CII, Most Innovative Company Award. But this is saving so many people now. You see on the highway, I'm so happy and proud that now, every truck made in this country is LED-fied now.
But Ram, even now when I travel on highways, even I do very often, even today I see almost 50% of the trucks are
because
without tail lights.
Yeah, because the old trucks.
Yes.
See, earlier it was just 2 to 3% had the tail light.
Tail light.
Now it has moved to 2 to 3 to 50. It's a massive leap the country has taken. But the good news is because the moment you cross a flux point of, it is inflection point, around 50%. No, others will be seen as Papu, the other way. See, if everybody is driving lane and you reach around 30-40%, the others will be seen as Papu. Today, if you drive in lane, you are seen as a Papu because you are the minority. Correct. So every movement starts with few steps, then it builds up. So I tell you, the fitness movement in the country, on trucks at least, has really reached its inflection point. Mm-hmm. In no time now, maybe in 2 to 3 years, you will see 80% trucks will have this LED-fied lights. The benefit of that is you get 3 meter extra distance for braking, because it's very important for a driver that when to speed, when to brake. Correct. And it is all depending on his decision. So there's a lambda value which declutter your eyes, and in a fraction of a second, 10 to the power minus 7 of a second, actually the light immediately gets to the other person in the back and he takes the action. So I'm not talking only about lights, anything which has to do with, see, there are 2 regimes which the world is going through. One regime is you regulate. So India has a very strong regulation. You see, our safety regulation is only going up. Now we have NCAP.
Yes.
But if it is not enforced, what will happen?
That is a problem.
So tail lights is regulated heavily since decades.
Correct.
But today, if you look at the report of every inspection and fitness of these trucks, those which government is running, Mr. Bhanot always tell me this, more than 90% is failing on lights.
Oh, is it?
And because it is failing more than 30%, you still have to give fitness certificate, otherwise India will stop. So now tell me, and that's why I tell everybody and people who are hearing now us, that please stay away from trucks. Because there is a fundamental issues which we are solving. It will take some time to get solved. But as of now, anyway, they have black spots. and they have the dark areas for the driver. But on top of it, there is a problem of this visibility and lighting which we have to solve. And it will be solved. But as of now, it is not, because enforcement is not there.
We will continue our interaction with Rama Shankar Pandey after this very short break. You are watching Trans India, real people, real emotions.
भारत के सभी ट्रक ओनर और ट्रक ड्राइवर भाइयों के लिए खुशखबरी। किसी भी पेट्रोल पंप से 5000 का डीजल फिल करे और पाए ट्रांसपोर्ट मार्केट का 3 महीने का सब्सक्रिप्शन बिल्कुल फ्री। पर इस ऑफर को रिवाइज कैसे करूं? अरे बिल्कुल आसान है। किसी भी पेट्रोल पंप से 5000 का डीजल फिल करे और पेमेंट का स्क्रीनशॉट 9320061511 पर व्हाट्सएप करे। वेरिफिकेशन के लिए पेट्रोल पंप पर ट्रक नंबर के साथ आपकी सेल्फी निकाले और व्हाट्सएप करे। याद रखें, यह ऑफर मार्च 2024 तक ही वैलिड है, तो जल्दी करें, ऑफर मिस ना करें और इस वीडियो को सभी ट्रक मालिक एवं ड्राइवर भाइयों के साथ शेयर जरूर करें। अब आप अपने परिवार का ख्याल रखिए। ट्रक के लिए लोड की चिंता करने के लिए ट्रैकिंग ट्रांसपोर्ट मार्केट है ना।
स्कूल बच्चों का दूसरा घर होता है और इस घर का ख्याल रखना एक प्रिंसिपल के लिए आसान नहीं। पढ़ाई के साथ बच्चों का आराम, उनकी सेफ्टी, छोटी से छोटी चीज़ मेरी प्रायोरिटी है। वैसे ही स्कूल बस चुनना भी एक बहुत बड़ा डिसीजन था। पेरेंट्स का पीस ऑफ माइंड, मैनेजमेंट का भरोसा और बजट साथ लिए चलना पड़ता है। इसीलिए कभी कभी फर्म भी बनना पड़ता है। आखिर कोई अपने बच्चों की जिम्मेदारी मुझे दे रहा है, तो कोई बजट की। लेकिन इतने सालों में एक चीज समझ आई है, अगर सही डिसीजन लें तो सबसे ज्यादा प्यार भी प्रिंसिपल को ही मिलता है।
चुनिए महिंद्रा क्रूजियर स्कूल बसेस। यह है मजबूत ट्यूबुलर स्ट्रक्चर, एंटी लॉक ब्रेकिंग, एंटी रोल बार, पैराबोलिक सस्पेंशन, आईमैक्स, वाइडर सीट्स और बेस्ट इन क्लास माइलेज के साथ बच्चों के लिए सेफ और बाकी सब के लिए सबसे स्मार्ट चॉइस, महिंद्रा क्रूजियर स्कूल बस।
Welcome back to Trans India, real people, real emotions. We are in conversation with Rama Shankar Pandey, who is a road safety activist, the CEO of Tata Green Batteries, and chairman of FICCI's subcommittee on road safety. But once again, you said stay away from trucks. But when you go on highways, if there are 3 lanes, you have trucks in all 3 lanes.
But you have to also see, go grassroots, because I walk so much. I drive in the night. I see accident victims. I've been working since decade now. What I've seen is, let's understand the truck drivers Priya also. This guy, he has, if he has any problem with the eye and he puts a spec, and people will say that आँख खराब हो गया, इसको नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी. This guy, if he drives on the real lane where he's supposed to drive, there is no access control. Every time a cyclist come or a pedestrian come or somebody comes, तो accident ही करता रहेगा. So what he does? Very simple. Go to the right lane. At least मेरा एक side तो ठीक है. I will take care of the left side. Then comes the whole driver. The way drivers are handled in this country is very unprofessional. We are talking about just now with the transporters. How you give them the salary is, you give them a flat salary and then वो ऊपर का पैसा कमाता है. तो उसको क्या करते हैं? माइलेज के ऊपर पैसा देते हैं. Now when your mileage is better, when the truck is stopping every 2 kilometers or when it is going, so he goes to the overtaking lane, there at least he is able to save mileage because mileage is his salary.
Absolutely.
So our incentive factor is making him there. That's why you see trucks everywhere. So fundamental has to be solved. That's why I always appeal to our transporters and the truck community. Can we do something about transforming the way the drivers are getting paid? We give them money for reaching, speeding up, doing all this. So it's not safe actually. Rather, we should incentivize them for safety. If he's driving safe, we should incentivize him. And some transport have started doing it. One of my friend Jehan is doing with Humsafer app with a lot of people. Say, I'm encouraging a lot of them that let's change the fundamentals and things will happen for us. So if you look at those 50% tail light which is there, thousands of people have been saved because of that.
Oh, yes.
Similarly, that whole enforcement, if it is not there, let's accept enforcement is not possible. Whatever you do, we have 85,000 traffic police. How can you do it?
Correct.
So we should do self-enforcement. Now, self-enforcement to work, you said, right, start with the school and build that culture. But until then, why should we allow people to die? So until then, what we can do is we can go to a regime called assist and alert. Just like in a plane, when you go, the air hostess comes to you and say, please buckle up. You buckle up, right? She doesn't come with challan. So problem is when you have this fight between the traffic and the establishment and the drivers and the road users, it's a war. Everybody can be smart. So the smartness is going against each other. What I feel is smartness should collaborate together and everybody should go into this assist and alert mode. In assist and alert mode, if there's a fatal accident situation, if you're alerted around 3, 4, 5 seconds also before, the chances of going down on the risk is very heavy. Correct. And you will be safe. So any technology like ADAS, like simple telematics, like driver training, behavior monitoring, conditioning. So all of us should work in that direction. From FICCI, where I'm also the chairman of road safety, we have got something called code of conduct. It's very interesting for you to know. It's called commercial vehicle code of conduct. There's simple things we need to check when we are loading the vehicle, unloading the vehicle. Simple way we want to collaborate, everybody to come together and prioritize safety. So it's all about prioritization.
Absolutely.
Because, one place you have masses who believe in bad luck, not in science. Another place you have the enforcement not working. These are all cocktail of accident.
Correct.
See, our accident is not, it's like you can't avoid. You can avoid. By working together. So if you change this from bad luck to science, this is what I am doing. I'm really shouting on top of my voice everywhere. I'm doing so many campaigns and activities just to let masses know it is science, science, science. Just like polio, just like mortality, child mortality. All those were science. No? The moment you started giving the vaccine of polio, it's gone. Similarly, with the child mortality, the moment you have the deliveries at hospital, it is gone. Here also it is science.
You follow the rules and you're safe to a large extent.
Yeah, and it's not about following the rule. Internalize it. It's for you. It's a road safety life protocol. It is not a British rule.
I keep saying time and again, every life matters. What we should be really focusing on. If I'm driving fast, I may end up in an accident. Someone else can also lose his life. His family can suffer. So that mindset has to get it.
I'll tell you a data which should scare you and which should scare everybody, whoever is listening this now. If I just extrapolate the data what we have today, and if you don't stop it, then every one of us, including you and me, 1 in 10 will have an accident in the working life.
Yes. And Ram,
you and me will have, and 1 in 25 will have fatal accident.
But Ram, what data we are talking about here is what is recorded. There is another set of data which is not even recorded.
So if you take the WHO data, which is taking from the hospitals, because this data is taken from the police, which is more from the crime bureau investigation, and from the hospitals, it is almost 100% underreported. So WHO is talking about 800 deaths per day. 800 deaths per day.
Which can be saved.
And this can be saved just not by a rocket science, by a simple thing. Very, very simple things. And that's why I say, but then you need a movement. You can't do it. It has to be everybody coming together. Nothing less than a public movement can do it. See, there are many reasons for this death. I always say this and I will repeat it till we solve it. There are many reasons for it deaths. You don't have to really get to those regions and everybody needs to do crash research and all. For that, there are agencies and we are working hard to get more and more. Now, ICAT has, RASI is doing it. Many of the OEMs are doing it. So we are trying to understand this more and more because India is different. You can't copy something which happens in Sweden and in European countries to the Indian situation because we have got more two-wheelers. So even if NCAP is there, it's only for cars. Correct. 85% is two-wheeler. Right. So for two-wheeler, where is the NCAP? There's nothing. So we need to develop NCAP for two-wheeler. We need to develop something for the two-wheelers here, right? So there are a lot of research going on and our roads need to be built based on who we are. If our 85% is two-wheeler, do you see the roads are built for two-wheeler?
There's nothing for two-wheeler.
Built for cars.
Absolutely.
So if they are built for cars, then we need to rethink on how we need to build the roads. How the roads can be safer. So first is those scientific things. There's a community. There is all the groups of people who are doing it. But for a common person, it is important that there can be many regions which will come out of those crash research and people will start working on it. But it will take time to solve. But immediately, if you want to solve, there is one very definite solution, which is let's be the change. Why can't I be the change? जब हम बदलेंगे तो देश बदलेगा. If you and me do it,
Correct.
and if we inspire maybe 5 more people in this office to do it, they will inspire 5 more. I have been doing this from decade now. Of course, I worked as a business leader, as a CEO for my company, or an MD for Hella India Lighting in past, or a CEO for Tata Green Battery. But I'm also a citizen, right? I can also demonstrate something. I can also inspire people. I can take a citizen leadership, and I've taken that. I've been working with schools, colleges, various organizations, with Ministry of Road Transport, with Mr. Gadkari, with SIAM, with ACMA, with CII, ASDC, everywhere you can connect all of that, and by collaboration, we can really solve it. And that, if everybody sees it is a cool thing to change,
Yes.
rather than a gyan,
A forced thing.
exactly. So road safety, I always say, it cannot happen in conference rooms.
Correct.
It has to be on road, right? And charity begins at home. If I can do it, you can also get convinced to do it. When we were walking from Kanyakumari to Kashmir to Jammu, this was in 2018, we did not believe, we thought it is a campaign, because I was very passionate and many of us in the company are very passionate. Our company vision is about saving life. And you remember we launched a lot of products like those projector lamps and those tail lights and all. And we said, let people know that this works and science is important. So for that, we started this awareness program for pedestrian safety. We said that people are not able to walk. Why not we prioritize it? And the campaign was named 1 crore steps. 1 crore steps was around 38 lakh steps was between Kashmir to Kanyakumari. And we said we are 3 of us. And if 3 can walk, it will become 1 crore plus.
Right.
One of our employees, Subbu, was there. Praveen Tiotia, who was the Navy commando in the Mumbai attack, who was saving people. So he joined us. And I was joining. So I did around 500 kilometers. I was joining in between because I have to run the company also.
Absolutely.
So when I was doing that, I thought 1 crore itself is quite a big number. And it was a kind of a mega, thinking. It's a big one. But the moment we started from Kanyakumari, I remember I walked to Trivandrum. While we were walking Trivandrum, there were thousands of people waiting for us. And then it became from 1 crore to like everywhere. In Mumbai, here, in Worli Seaface, we had around 5,000 people. We had the Rapid Action Force. Everybody was there. We had bands of IT, this CRPF, ITBP. And we were so motivated to do more and more that by the end, I was in Baga border. The BSF welcomed us. All 50,000 people, can you imagine? And we made, and I'm only appealing that everybody I'm touching, I'm telling, go and start a Drive Safe Club inside, your society or in your school, college, or wherever. Just by doing that, we can manage. This is again a freedom movement. Just like a freedom movement, it is a citizen movement. It can't be a government movement. Absolutely. It has to be a citizen movement. So when we did that, how many steps we did? That 1 crore steps, it ended up with 133 crore steps. Can you imagine? Even we went to Vaishno Devi and Jammu and Katra. And the whole CRPF gave us the complete that place where you start the yatra. And we met all the people coming from different part of the country for that yatra. And we colored them with road safety.
Brilliant.
And they started donating their steps. So what I saw is that if you take initiative, people are not bad. See, it's easy to say that everybody is bad. India is like this. Nobody will change. Arey Baba, they know it is risky. But they still believe it is Bhagwan bachayenge. उनका वो belief को बदलना, उनको बोला science है.
Small change is required, I think.
And not big. I tell you, around 190 two-wheeler guys die every day. 190. In many cities, 80% of them die because of head injury without helmets. Can you imagine how many you can save? And remember, their life is completely devastated. Earning member was...
suffers, they don't realize.
In Mumbai, Pune, there was a survey that people who died, earning member, low-income people, even their family, their wives have to go for prostitution. Can you imagine? It's so bad.
When I see people flouting rules, I tell them a very simple thing. Once you will die, but your family will suffer. Think about them. तुम अपने बारे में सोच दो.
I think मुझे क्या लगता है ना, ये rule flouting, हमें ये conversation को बदलना है. हम क्या चाहते हैं? हम लोग rule बोले ही ना.
I mean, be safe.
ये हाँ. ये आपका जो practice है ना, it's a life-saving protocol है. Correct. Just like you go and when you touch your pan, when you are cooking something, you touch with some clothing, na?
Correct.
It is exactly that. Same like that clothing you have helmet, same like that clothing you have the seat belt. So it is a common sense for you. Nobody has to go to CMVR rule to follow CMPR rule तो इसलिए है because they think you don't have, see you have a mind. जिस माइंड के लिए आप सब कुछ करते हो उसको प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए कर तो सकते हैं. I think
यूज तो कर लो माइंड को.
तो अपनी बात करने का जो लहजा होना चाहिए ना, वो होना चाहिए. It is not a rule. It is actually your own life-saving protocol.
It is for yourself, but
Yes.
not for somebody else.
And because you think मुझे नहीं होगा, ऐसा नहीं है. I tell you the chance 1 in 10 will have accident.
And it takes a second.
Exactly.
1 second and it can change.
Exactly.
It is very clear that Ram has a passion for road safety and has in-depth study in the same. But what was the trigger that got Ram so involved in road safety? We will continue our interaction with Rama Shankar Pandey next week and get more insights on the lives of truck drivers and how the highways can be made safer. Also, we will present our perspective on road safety and what needs to be done. Thank you for watching Trans India, Real People, Real Emotions. We will be back again next week. Until next week, stay safe, drive safe. Jai Hind.